Hello YouTubers. In this video I'm going to discuss a couple of very handy pieces of technology that I found very helpful in troubleshooting problems with and repairing my vehicles. First, I want to state that I'm not affiliated with or compensated by the producers of either of these products, and I acknowledge that there are multiple other similar products out there that perform the same tasks. But the two items I'm going to spotlight in this video just happen to be ones that I have personal experience with. Both of these items are very inexpensive. In fact, one of them is free, but they offer a lot of features that should be more than adequate for the average shade tree mechanic like me. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. The two products I'm referring to are, number one, a Bluetooth OBD II diagnostic interface that connects to your vehicle's computer via the OBD II diagnostics port, and number two, the Torque app, which you can download onto your Android smart device. But let's start with the OBD2 interface. As I just mentioned, the device connects to your to your vehicle's engine management computer via the OBD2 port, which is a trapezoidal male connector usually located somewhere in or beneath the dash of all vehicles manufactured since January 1st, 1996. Although I think some vehicles manufactured even before that date have the port as well. OBD is just an acronym for onboard diagnostics, which basically just means that you can access data in the engine management system to assess your vehicle's performance and troubleshoot problems. This also gives access to fault codes, which are what trigger your vehicle's computer to turn on the check engine light. You can see the shape of the connector here. The interface here has a female connector. The port on the vehicle should have a male connector, and this will just push onto the port. To use the interface, we simply need to connect it to the vehicle's OBD2 port, which in my case happens to be located here below the dash. This vehicle is a 2001 Dodge Ram 1500. You can see the pedals there, and just below the dash you can see the male OBD2 port there. So we need to take the interface and carefully align it with the connector and push on like that. You'll be able to tell when it gets engaged. And to use the interface, we just need to connect to a smart device via Bluetooth, and that will allow us to read any fault codes and also any real-time sensor data, which I'll get into in just a moment. Now, before you connect your smart device to the interface for the first time, you'll need to pair it just like you would for any other Bluetooth device, and the instructions that come with the interface should explain how to do that. I guess I should point out that this particular interface is not compatible with iOS, unfortunately, so you won't be able to pair this specific model with an Apple device. However, the manufacturer, BAFX, makes a separate interface dedicated to iOS devices, and it should operate in the same way. I'll provide a link to both products in the description for this video. I think the Android version sells for $21.99 and the iOS version sells for $25.99. Once you've paired the interface to your smart device, you'll need some software to communicate with the interface and to display the data, and that's where the Torque app comes into play. Unfortunately, this app is only compatible with Android devices. I don't have any Apple devices, so I don't have any first-hand experience with other applications that do run on iOS, but I do believe there are several available. I will post links to download the free Android version of this app, which is called Torque Lite, in the description for this video. There's also a paid version of the app called Torque Pro, which is actually what I currently have installed on my device. But the free version is really robust and performs all the functions that I'll highlight in this video. Okay, so with my OBD2 interface connected to my vehicle's OBD2 port, I'm going to ensure that I have Bluetooth enabled on my phone or my smart device, which you can see that I do. And I also recommend having your GPS function enabled, because many of the app's advanced features require GPS connectivity. So I've ensured both of those are turned on. Now I've got the app open. And if your interface is already connected to the port, and you've already paired it with your smart device, then we'll give the app a few seconds to connect to the interface. In fact, right here there's an option for adapter status. We click on that, that'll tell us what's going on. Yes, Bluetooth is enabled. Yes, we have a connection to the adapter. But here it says connection to ECU. Can the adapter talk okay to the vehicle ECU, which is the computer? No. So what we need to do is go ahead and turn on the engine. And that should allow the adapter and software to talk to the ECU. ECU is just an acronym for electronic or engine control unit, and that term can be used interchangeably with computer. So let's go ahead and start the engine. We'll go back to the main menu by hitting the back arrow. We'll give this a second. And let's click on adapter status again. And there we go. Connection to ECU. Can the adapter talk okay to the vehicle ECU? Yes. So now we know that the adapter is communicating directly with the computer in the vehicle, and the adapter is then sending all that information to our smart device. So we can back out of this, and we are ready to kind of dig into some of the features that the app offers. One of the most basic yet useful features that the app allows you to do is to access stored fault codes, which again are what cause your vehicle's check engine light to turn on. In my case, you can see my check engine light is already turned on. Sorry about the focus, but you can see it there. I already know what the fault code is, but let's bring it up using the app just so you can see how this works. So here we are on the main menu of the app, and you can kind of scroll around for all the different menus here. We want to select the one that says fault codes. So we tap that, and then we'll be given the option to tap here to scan for results or press menu for more options. Well, we want to scan for results, so we will tap on the magnifying glass. And after a few seconds, we should see what's going on. I've got, let's see, powertrain P0340 camshaft position sensor A circuit, and P0420 catalyst system efficiency below threshold. So I need to dig into both of those and see what's going on. But this is really helpful for anyone that wants to troubleshoot, or even if you just want to know what's going on with your vehicle before you take it to the mechanic, so you can have a little bit of information in your back pocket. So if you do take on a repair yourself and then you are pretty confident that you've resolved the issue, you actually can clear codes as well. So let's see. To do that, I believe we tap here for the menu options, and then yeah, we can click clear faults on ECU. Then you'll be prompted to confirm that you actually want to do that. I'm not going to, because I have not fixed the issues yet. But if I did clear the codes, anything that I haven't repaired then would then come back those codes would be triggered again after several drive cycles, and the check engine light would come back on. So with modern vehicles, the ability to read fault codes is usually the first place to start for troubleshooting any problem that's related to the engine management system or any sensors. So it's incredibly handy to have the ability to read fault codes at home or even on the fly. I mean, most auto parts stores will offer this service for free these days, but what happens if you're on a road trip and your check engine light suddenly comes on and you're nowhere near a parts store? It's really helpful to be able to just pull out your adapter, plug it in, and then bring up the app on your phone and find out pretty much on demand what's going on with your vehicle. That can be the difference between knowing you've got to get service right away, or if it's not an emergency, then you can put off the repair till you get back home. But without knowing the codes, that's not really a decision you can make. So being able to find this information on the fly is incredibly helpful. Another really cool feature of the Torque app is the ability to output real-time sensor information. So from the app's main menu, we can tap on real-time information. And a new screen will appear with some default gauge displays. Now in my case, I've already manually added some of these, but you'll either get a blank screen here, or you might get one or two sensors that show up. But if we tap on the gear icon here at the bottom left-hand corner, that will bring up the settings menu, and that allows us to customize both how and what real-time information is displayed. We can add a display, which provides a whole bunch of options. You can click that. You can see all the different options provided here. Or we can also edit the layout. So if we click the settings again, let's see. Layout settings, there we go. Nope, click the wrong. Layout settings. If we click toggle edit layout mode, then you can see you can move sensors around like that. And then you can see there's multiple screens here you can set up. So it's just a lot of options here that the app gives you. So you can also, if you tap and hold any display, gives you a bunch of other options. You can move it through this method as well. You can delete it. You can, let's see, you can zoom in if it's a tiny readout. So there's just a bunch of different options you got here to customize this exactly how you like it. Another really cool feature that you have through the real-time information menu or screen here is for data logging, which basically just means that the app will record all the data that you want it to while you're driving, and then you can export that data to your computer to analyze it. To do this, you once again click on the gear icon. You would click start logging. You can see it gives you a notification, trip logging enabled. So right now the app is recording the readouts of all the sensors that I have set up here. When you're done, you simply click the gear icon again, click stop logging. The app will tell you that it has stopped. And then if you want to email that log to yourself, click email logs, select which file. This is the one that I just created, I believe. hit OK, and then that should allow you to send that via email. So you can download it on your computer and manipulate it. Let's see, let's click that, and it's going to ask you which format. So if you're doing any sort of mapping or accelerometer data, it's probably you want to send that in a Google Earth format. If you're just looking at sensor outputs like I don't know, vacuum or RPMs, anything like that, fuel trims, you would select the CSV, which is basically just a comma separated values, which is a spreadsheet format that you can manipulate with Microsoft Excel or another spreadsheet software. So that's a really neat feature. It's more of an advanced tool. Not your average shade tree mechanic like me doesn't use a lot of that stuff, but nonetheless, it's really impressive that a free app offers this much functionality. One other thing that I did want to mention about the real-time data logging, some of the real-time information outputs that the app provides require some vehicle information to be input manually, such as engine displacement and vehicle weight. And you can access these settings by tapping the gear icon from the app's main menu and then updating the vehicle profile. In my case, I've already set up one for this vehicle, but if you want to create a new profile, click there, and then you can see the different inputs available that you can adjust, and you can save the profile name and vehicle type there. And once you're done, you would click Save down at the bottom. In my case, I've already set up this vehicle, so when you start up the app, just make sure that you have the profile selected, and that will ensure that some of the real-time data outputs like fuel economy and stuff like that are actually accurate and specific to your particular vehicle. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. So that essentially wraps up this video. Overall, the combination of an OBD II diagnostic interface and the Torque app is a really powerful troubleshooting tool that I would recommend everybody should have. Even if you don't plan to perform any of your own vehicle maintenance, these two things can arm you with information about what's going on with your vehicle so you can speak intelligently with your mechanic. Sadly, as many of us know through personal experience, there are some unscrupulous mechanics out there looking to take advantage of people. So having access to your vehicle's data can prevent that happening to you. So I would recommend everybody look into getting these. Again, they're incredibly inexpensive. The Torque Lite app is free, and the adapter, the BAFX adapter that I have, is $21.99 for Android and $25.99 for iOS devices. So you're not investing a lot here, but you're getting a whole lot of capability. So I've covered a lot of information here, and I realize that I've not gone into a lot of depth about how to use the app. This video wasn't really intended to be a tutorial about how to use it. More so, it's really just to make people aware that these tools are available, and for not very much money. So I hope you have found this video helpful. If you purchase an adapter and get an app to pair with it, I don't think you'll regret it at all. And potentially you could save yourself a lot of money down the road. So again, I hope this is helpful. Thanks for watching.